Good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Call the February 14th regular meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First up on our agenda is Mill Creek Police Department appointment and oath of office. Chief of Police Carter Mook. Kim?
I would like to make a motion to officially appoint Captain Mook as Chief of Police. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Ms. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Okay, I will administer the oath of office. It's an honor to do this. I state your name.
I, Carter Mook,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge the duties of Chief of Police
and that I will discharge the duties of Chief of Police
in Mill Creek Township, Erie County, with fidelity.
in Mill Creek Township, Erie County, with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Okay, next up we have two promotion requests. Chief,
sir.
you can handle that?
Yes, sir. First, I'm seeking approval to promote Lieutenant Scott Sebulak to the rank of captain. He has assumed command of the patrol division since my promotion, and Lieutenant Sebulak was born and raised in Pittsburgh. He's a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh and was hired as a police officer by Mill Creek Township in March of 1997. He's worked in the patrol division his entire career. Sebulak was promoted to the rank of corporal in 2007, sergeant in 2014, lieutenant later in 2014, where he commanded the 1st Platoon. While in the patrol division, Sebulak was a field training officer for a period of 8 years. During this time, he trained a large number of our current staff. Sebulak was placed in charge of the field training program from February 2014 until February 2022, where he supervised the training of all newly hired officers. Sebulak has been in command of the patrol division since January 27th of this year when Chief Height retired. And the second promotion request I have is for the promotion of Sergeant Brandon Haynes to the rank of lieutenant, where he will be commander of the 1st Platoon in patrol, filling the departure of Lieutenant Sebulak. Sergeant Haynes was born and raised in Erie, a 1997 graduate of McDowell High School. He went on to earn a Bachelor of Science degree from West Virginia University. Following his graduation, Haynes worked for Wesleyville, Lawrence Park, and Presque Isle State Park Rangers as a police officer until February 2006 when he was hired as a police officer with Mill Creek Township. Sergeant Haynes has worked in the patrol division his entire career as well. Haynes has been a field training officer for a period of 11 years. During this time, he trained many of our current staff. Haynes has also been a member of the MPD SWAT team since 2010. He was one of the department snipers for a period of 8 years. He was promoted to team leader in SWAT in 2021. Haynes was promoted to the rank of corporal in patrol in February 2016, was promoted to the rank of sergeant in 2021. And I'm requesting again the approval for both of these promotions for backfill as a result of Chief Height's retirement.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
I'd like to make a motion to promote Scott Sebulak to Patrol Division Lieutenant and Brandon Haynes to Lieutenant First Platoon Commander. Sorry. I apologize. I would like to make a motion to promote Scott Sebulak to Captain of the Patrol Division. Did I leave out the word captain?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
all
good.
right.
You're good.
And
Okay.
Brandon Haynes to Lieutenant.
Okay, do I have a second?
I will second that.
Okay, I'll call for a vote on this. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Congratulations.
We're going to excuse ourselves from the meeting, if that's okay from here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Have a cookie for me.
Okay, moving on, number 5 on our agenda is public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning applications. Any public comment on that? Hearing none, move on to approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay,
Sorry. I second?
okay. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Approval of the bills. We have some bills that need approved here.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills?
And I will second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Yes. We have some bids and quotes. First one is for a server upgrade, IT admin department. Mark?
Yes, the request is to replace the file server. This is the one that failed, I think, in December. And we've been limping along by offloading it to another server, but that creates capacity issues. So now we need to replace the server. And we've obtained a quote from VelocityNet. The server itself is $8,250. There's the server software, which is, read it, $1,069. Oh no, that was something else. The software for the server software is $5,520. And then a 16-pack license. So in total, it's like $6,600 for the licenses. And then malware software, $685. And then there's labor for moving all the files over to the new server and setting it up. And that is $2,500. So the total cost of the server replacement is $18,024. This was budgeted in the capital budget for $20,000, so the remaining balance will go to reserve.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
Yes. Next up, we have a paint truck overhaul from Public Works.
Thank you. Good morning. The Traffic Department is seeking approval to have the paint truck overhauled and rebuilt. Only one quote was received from MB Companies, as they are the manufacturer of this vehicle. The lump sum price for this rebuild is $30,000. Funds for this will be taken from the paint truck overhaul line of the Traffic Department's capital budget, leaving a balance of $0. It is my recommendation to have MB Companies perform this work on this vehicle.
Rob, I have a question. Is this something that's routinely done annually or just as needed?
It is recommended by MB Companies that this work is done every 6 years. We have not had it done in the last 12 years.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Traffic counters, Public Works.
The Traffic Department is seeking approval to purchase 2 new StatTrack data collector traffic counters. One quote was received from All Traffic Solutions Incorporated for $5,576.60 under CoStar's contract 012-E22-305. Funds for these will be taken from the control computers line of the Traffic Department capital budget, leaving a balance of $8,424. It is my recommendation to purchase these traffic counters from All Traffic Solutions for the CoStar's price of $5,576.
Rob, I have a question. What are these mainly used for?
These are used for doing traffic studies throughout the township.
Traffic studies
Yeah.
and mainly engineering studies or?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, is there a motion for approval on this item?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the traffic counters.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Traffic cabinet battery backup packs.
The Traffic Department is seeking approval to purchase 3 each battery backup systems with LED indicators and 5 each bypass panels with LED indicators. These items will be used to complete the backups along the Peach Street corridor. One quote was received for these items from Signal Service Incorporated for the price of $16,897. Only one quote was received for these items, as they will match what we currently have in place. Funds will be taken from the UPS battery backup line of the Traffic Department capital budget, leaving a balance of $13,103. It is my recommendation to purchase these items from Signal Service Incorporated.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Any questions on this item?
I'll make a motion to approve the the battery backups.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Garage number 2, overhead door.
Building Maintenance is seeking approval to have the south overhead door on Garage 2 replaced. One quote was received for Miller Overhead Door for the price of $14,456. Only one quote was received, as this door is being replaced in kind as a direct replacement. Funds for this door will be split and taken from the contingency lines of Building Maintenance, Fleet Maintenance, and the Streets Departments, as they all use this door. It is my recommendation to purchase this door from Miller Overhead Door for the price of $14,456.
I'll make a motion to approve the garage door.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have an automated pool chemical controllers. Ashley?
Yes, thank you. The Parks and Recreation Department is requesting the purchase of 4 new automated pool chemical controllers. These controllers regulate the chlorine and pH levels of our community pools at Chestnut Hill and Bell Valley. The current pool chemical controllers have failed and replacement parts are not able to be found due to the age of the controllers, as they are all over 20 years old. The project was planned for and $16,000 was allotted in the Parks and Recreation capital budget. Quotes were obtained for 4 Chemtrol CH250 ORP controllers from B&R Pools and Swim Shop, Easy Clean Pool Supply, and Horizon Pool Supply. B&R Pools and Swim Shop offered the lowest quote at $13,600 and would supply installation and product training at this price. This would leave a capital budget surplus of $2,400. It's my recommendation to purchase the 4 Chemtrol CH250 ORP controllers from B&R Pools and Swim Shop for $13,600.
Thank you, Ashley.
I'll make a motion to approve the pool filters.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Looks like we have some police vehicles to order. Kim, you want to handle that?
Yes, I will. Captain Mook and the police department is requesting the approval of 4 vehicles, 2023 Ford Interceptor SUV 4-door, all-wheel drive, EcoBoost vehicles. Captain Mook is recommending the purchase of these 4 vehicles from Laurel Auto Group. They are a member of CoStars at a cost of $41,420 each. These vehicles will be outfitted with emergency equipment and computer equipment by Team Force at a cost of $18,722.98 each. Graphics by Octane Custom Graphics will be a cost of $625. And the total vehicle cost then will be $72,267.98. And this was going to be coming out of their line item for this that was approved in our budget for $289,289.71.92. So I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of these 4 vehicles.
And I will second that.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have some ammo to buy, too.
Yes, ammo is hard to come by. Just so you know, I don't know if everyone knows that there's a shortage of that. They've been looking for about a year. They've been trying to buy in advance, but they're seeking the purchase of ammunition for the police department and recommending the purchase of the ammunition from Whitmer Public Safety Group in the amount of $21,826.80. Whitmer is a previous supplier of ammunition and is also a CoStars member. So I'll make a motion to approve the ammunition in the police department.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a camera truck. Rob?
The sewer department is seeking approval to purchase a new sewer inspection camera truck per the attached quote and spec sheet. This equipment will be purchased from Golden Equipment Company Incorporated for the price of $411,936 under CoStar's contract 25-E22-402. Funds for this will be taken from the camera truck line of the sanitary sewer capital budget, leaving a balance of $64. It is my recommendation to purchase this equipment from Golden Equipment Company.
Thank you, Rob.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I will second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next up, sewer truck.
The sewer department is seeking approval to purchase a new Chevy 2500 HD double cab pickup truck from Holman Chevrolet. Truck number 88 from the sewer department has reached the end of its useful life and will be traded in with a value of $6,000. Total price after trade-in is $40,935 under CoStar's contract 25-109. $40,000 of this purchase will be taken from the 4x4 pickup truck line of the sanitary sewer capital budget, and the remaining $935 will be taken from the lift station pump purchase line. It is my recommendation to purchase this truck from Holman Chevrolet.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve?
And I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Sanitary sewer rehab.
The sewer department is seeking approval to hire Sewer Specialty Services Company for testing and sealing mainline sewers, manhole grouting, and pipe patch repair sleeves for this year's sewer I&I project per the attached quote. This work will be performed under CoStar's contract 413-418. Funds for this will be taken from the I&I grouting and maintenance line of the sanitary sewer capital budget. This line totals $375,000 for the 2023 budget year. It is my recommendation to hire sewer specialty services company per the attached quote.
Thank you, Rob.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 9 on our agenda, Resolution 2023-R5. Resolution of the Township of Mill Creek, Erie County, Pennsylvania, acknowledging that the unopened portion of Niemeyer Road, formerly known as Bauer Road, is a private road and that the township does not have any interest or rights in the unopened portion of Niemeyer Road. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, Resolution 2023-R5 recognizes that the township has no rights or interest in the unopened portions of Niemeyer Road shown in the 1965 rededication map as was laid out in the 1925 subdivision map. In the original subdivision, this area was identified as a possible road, and ultimately the developer reserved the road as private. The unopened portion of Niemeyer Road was never dedicated to the township. One of the neighbors adjacent to the unopened portion of Niemeyer Road has requested that the township confirm that it has no interest in the road in order to assist them in trying to clear up the title to the property. I think at the end of the day, they want to have title to it, which would effectively then put it back on the tax rolls. As a result, we would recommend that you adopt this resolution to help them accomplish that goal.
Thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments on this resolution? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
And I will second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 10, Resolution 2023-R6, resolution to approve partial funding to the Mill Creek Township General Authority for 2023. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, this is a resolution that would provide funding to the authority in the amount of $1,500,000. This is an amount that is within the amount that was budgeted for part of the 2023 budget. It will assist the authority in operating costs as well as pursuing the purposes of the authority for which it was formed. The recommendation would be to approve Resolution 2023-R6.
Okay, any questions or comments on this resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote no. $1,500,000. No problem. Next up, number 11, non-substantial amendment to land development plan. That was tabled from our January 20, can you hear me okay now? From the January 24th meeting. Mod Wash, LDP, Hutton, Erie, Fillmore, PAST LLC developer. Matt?
Thank you. Good morning. Yes, the developer of the Mod Wash Car Wash, which is Hutton, Erie, Fillmore, PAST LLC, is proposing a non-substantial amendment to show the designation of 2 bug preparation parking stalls located along the west line of the driveway for employee parking and moving the bug prep area north of the proposed parking spaces along the west line of the driveway. The changes amount to a net reduction of 1,090 square feet of impervious area. As you recall, this was tabled at the last meeting because we had not received all the required paperwork. That has now been submitted. In front of you is the engineer's certification that this meets the qualifications for a non-substantial amendment signed by Acting Township Engineer Jeff Marnicio. So at this time, I would recommend that the board approve this non-substantial land development amendment.
Thank you, Matt.
Mr. Chairman, do we need to make a motion to take it off the table first?
I don't think so, because it was just tabled for this meeting, so I think you're okay.
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 Is there a motion to approve this non-substantial
Yeah,
amendment?
then I can go ahead, yes, then I will make a motion to, for the non-substantial amendment.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a notification of exclusion from land development, McDowell High School, Mill Creek Township School District developer. Matt?
Thank you. As you are aware, the Planning and Development Department has been enabled to administratively approve certain land development exemptions, or exclusions, I should say, if they meet certain criteria. The owner of this property, which is Mill Creek Township School District, is proposing additions to McDowell High School and McDowell Intermediate High School. McDowell High School would have 3 proposed additions totaling 2,186 square feet. McDowell Intermediate High School would have a proposed addition of 161 square feet. Since the total square footage of additions are under 5,000 square feet, the project is exempt from the land development process. There is no vote required for this. This is just notification to the board and to the public that these exemptions were granted.
Thank you, Matt. Next up, number 13 on our agenda is the Bell Valley Pool lease. Mark?
Yes, before you is a lease agreement with the Mill Creek Township School District relating to the Bell Valley Pool. The Bell Valley Pool is located on property of the Mill Creek Township School District, and that lease was set to expire next year. After discussions with the township and the school district, it was determined to extend this lease through December 1 of 2038, which would make it coincide with a couple of additional properties that the township leases from the school district. This would be, again, through December 1 of 2038, and also has a provision that would allow it to be extended for a period of 25 years upon the agreement of both parties. The recommendation would be to approve and execute this lease.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments on that?
None here. No.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve this pool lease?
So moved.
Okay.
And I will second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next up is the sale of a police vehicle.
Yes.
Kim, you want to handle that one?
Sure. The Mill Creek School District, I don't think I have anything on this one besides that, nothing written. The Mill Creek School District actually reached out to Mill Creek Township a few months ago, and their safety department was looking for any retired police vehicles to use for their SROs, their security programs. They have been, I know Mill Creek Township School District from having taught in the district for 18 and a half years. They are taking very seriously any threats that might come to the students, teachers, and inside the building. So they asked if we had one that was going to be that was no longer in use, if we would be able to sell it to them. So that is what's taking place. Our maintenance, I believe, talked with the maintenance people over at Mill Creek Township School District, and it looks like something they can use. I'm really very happy to partner with Mill Creek Township School District on this and provide this. So I'm making a motion to sell this vehicle for $1 so I'm making that motion to Mill Creek School District.
If I could add, Kim, also to approve and authorize execution of the bill of sale that's included in your agenda.
Okay, yes, execution of
That
the bill of
includes
sale.
transferring the title.
Yeah.
And
Sarah.
transferring the title, yes.
Okay.
And Mill Creek Township School District is paying for that.
And I would add that that's an as-is sale, so the township would have no further responsibility relating to that vehicle.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. A motion was made. on
Motion
that.
was made.
Okay, is there a second?
I will second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next up, we have a tax assessment appeal settlement. Two entities, the Reserve at Mill Creek, formerly Granada Apartments, 1717 Kuntz Road, and Royal Villa Apartments, 2660 West 38th. Mr. Shaw?
Yes, these are two settlements of tax appeals that were filed. Typically, the township, although a named a party, doesn't directly get involved in these, except to the extent that once they get resolved, It's put before the township for their review and approval with respect to any settlement, and that's the case with respect to these two matters. The reserve or former Granada tax settlement is a settlement agreement between Erie Reserve Realty LLC, the Mill Creek Township School District, the township, and the Erie County Board of Assessment Appeals in relation to a tax assessment appeal filed by Erie Reserve Realty LLC relating to properties located at 1717 Coons Road that is owned by Erie Reserve Realty. The parties have reached a settlement on the property's assessed value of $28,490,000 for 2022 and $24,885,000 for 2023 to be apportioned among the two parcels for all tax years at issue, which are 2022 and 2023. My recommendation would be for the Board of Supervisors to approve this settlement and authorize McDonald to execute it on behalf of the township. The second tax settlement involves Royal Villa. This is a settlement agreement between Royal Villa RP LLC, the Mill Creek Township School District, the township, and the Erie County Board of Assessment Appeals in relation to a tax assessment appeal filed by Royal Villa RP LLC related to the property located at 2660 West 38th Street, which is owned by Royal Villa. The parties have reached a settlement on the property's assessed value of $3,378,100 for 2022 and $3,378,100 for 2023. Again, my recommendation would be that the Board of Supervisors approve this settlement and authorize McDonald Oig to execute it on their behalf. And I think you can take both at the same time if you
Okay,
wish.
thank you, Mark. Any questions or comments on this? Do I hear a motion to approve these appeal settlements as presented?
Yes, motion to approve appeal settlements.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, we have communications, treasurer communications. Mark?
Yes, it's come to our attention that we need to formally approve certain weapon sales by the retiring members of the police and/or animal enforcement department. And in each instance, the proper form was filled out, and it's an agreement saying that it's as is, they're responsible for all the transfers, things like that, and payments have been received. So I'm asking that we retroactively approve the weapons purchases for Tim Stevenson, Scott Herman, Chris Petch, Wayne Forcier, Richard Skidetska, Mike Fitzgerald, and Scott Height. And it'd be my recommendation to go ahead and approve those.
I would just add that the range of the sales were between $325 and I think $494, so it's we're not talking large values.
Right, and those dollar amounts are arrived on a prorated basis based on the age of the weapon.
Yes.
So, okay. Any questions or comments from the board on this?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, looks like we have some training and travel requests.
Yes, I would like to make a recommendation, Mr. Chairman, to read all of these and vote on them at one time, all of the training requests. Is that permitted?
I'm good with that.
Okay. Okay, the first training request from Chief Mook. Oh, no. Chief Mook, seeking 3 detectives to the Reed interview and interrogation course held April 3rd to April 6th at the Erie County 911 Center. This is a nationally renowned premier level training on the art of interview and interrogation. Captain Kaczynski identified 3 detectives, Green, Shoup, and Pazzarotti, who have yet to attend. If registration is done by March 3rd, there is a $50 discount per person. With the discount, the cost is $580 per person, with a total registration of $1,740 coming out of the training budget. Because of the location, there are no travel costs. The next training request is for Corporal Graham Perkins to do a 5-day basic sniper course held by the Ohio Tactical Officers Association at the Ashland Gun Club in West Salem, Ohio, from April 24th through the 28th of 2023. Because of the backfill needed on the SWAT team, Graham Perkins was selected as a new sniper. This training is required in order for Perkins to serve as a sniper, and it is the closest available training course presently. The cost is $600. Lodging is $98 a night for 5 nights. Per diem is $59 a day for the first day and last day of travel. Travel by department vehicle, and the cost would be $814.50. And I believe those are the training requests for the police department. I'll make a motion to approve those 2 training requests.
Okay, thank you, Kim.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, next we have a training request, planning and development.
I actually have 2. Would you like me to read them
There's
both
2.
and vote on them, or would you like to do it separate?
You can do them combined, Matt.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Sure. The first request is for Township Project Engineer John Sebesta to attend an 8-hour OSHA Hazardous Waste Operations and Emergency Response, commonly known as HAZWOPER, class, being sponsored by Urban Engineers. It will be held at the brewery at Union Station in Erie on Friday, February 24th from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The registration fee is $140. He would like approval to attend the annual refresher course to maintain his HAZWOPER credentials, and I would recommend approval of this request. Second request is for Township Inspector Christopher Brenner. He's seeking permission to participate in a virtual seminar on construction site grading and drainage. The course includes design considerations, site evaluation, complying with legal requirements such as the Americans with Disabilities Act, and project inspection. The cost is $319 and would be paid for from the Planning and Development Budget's training line item. Chris will be participating in an on-demand session as the live session is being conducted in the Central Time Zone, which would extend into the early evening and would result in having to pay overtime for Mr. Brenner. So he'll view the recorded session the day after. I recommend that he be approved to participate in this virtual 8-hour training at a total cost of $319. I should also add, I forgot to mention for Mr. Sebesta's training, that cost would also come from the Planning and Development training budget.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Is there a motion to approve these 2 training requests as presented?
Motion to approve the 2 training requests.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Parks and Rec
Thank you.
wants to go to a conference.
I would, yes. This request is for approval to attend the annual Pennsylvania Park and Recreation Society Conference, which this year is going to be held at the Hershey Lodge in Hershey, Pennsylvania. The conference is being held from March 19th to March 22nd. The conference offers 50 different educational sessions on a variety of field and professional related topics, networking opportunities with statewide colleagues, a vendor exhibition for sourcing and creating relationships with department-related vendors, and opportunities for continuing education. I've attended this conference several times in the past and have always found it very beneficial to my professional growth. I'm requesting permission to travel to this conference with use of a township vehicle. I'm also requesting the conference registration fee and lodging to be covered under a training expense within my operational budget. The conference registration fee is $450, and that includes all meals. I'm requesting lodging as well for the conference at the Hershey Lodge for 4 nights at $198.69 per night for a total of $794.76. The total expense for the conference between registration fees and lodging comes to $1,244.76. So I'm recommending the approval of my attendance at this statewide conference.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. Is there a motion to approve the training request?
Yes, motion to approve the training request for Parks and Rec.
I'll second.
Okay, Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to note that Ms. Marsteller, when she comes back from this conference, she comes with booklets and booklets of the dreams that we have for the Parks and Rec Department. It's sky's the limit.
Cool.
I love seeing those. So thanks, Ashley.
Okay, we have a request for flagger training. Rob?
Thank you. The Streets Department is seeking approval to send 3 employees to flagger training on March 23rd, 2023 at the Green Township Building in Erie, PA. The employees attending this class are Joe Maffeo, Jim Horn, and Dominic Quadri. The cost for this training is $75 a person and is 3 hours long. Funds for this will be taken from the Streets Department training expense budget. It is my recommendation to send these employees to this class.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
Make a motion to approve?
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Executive sessions were held January 26th and February 9th of this year. Anything further on solicitor communications, Mark?
No, Mr. Chairman.
No? Okay. Citizens to be heard. Any citizens wish to be heard?
Looks like we have one back there.
Ma'am, if you could come up to the podium here. Yeah, over there, ma'am. Yep. There should be a, if you could just sign in real quick and then state your name and address for the record. Needs a pen, Rob.
My name is Barbara Rounds. I have a house on Old Glenwood Park Avenue, and I put it up for sale, and I had a buyer, excuse me, but he backed out of the sale because of this easement on my property that nobody seems to know anything about, and Mill Creek Township isn't doing anything about it. They canceled the closing like 3 or 4 times, so the man backed out. And I don't understand why this easement can't be settled so I can get this house sold. And problem is too, when I had this sale, I'm 2 years behind on my taxes, and I was supposed to take care of that. And now I don't have the money to pay for it. So I'm in a very kind of a bad situation here.
Okay, this is the first I'm hearing this, ma'am, so you have to
Okay.
apologize.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Mr. Waldinger, you
Mrs.
have-
Rounds, that, number 9 on today's agenda, the resolution regarding Niemeyer Road, that is for the issue that you're talking about, the township releasing
Yeah,
any.
my house is directly across the creek from me.
Right, and this was the township's action to release any claims that we have on that. There still would need to be work done by your attorneys to kind of clear that title. We were just taking this step to further confirm that the township does not have any interest in that property. It was never dedicated to us, but that item was
told
taken
that
care
they
of.
didn't have any record of it. The township didn't have any record of it.
Right, we did not. Like I said, it was never dedicated to us as a public street, and so the action that was taken today through that resolution was just officially stating that for whatever benefit it would provide you and your attorneys as you move forward.
I don't understand why it took, the closing was postponed like 4 times. And then I lost my buyer.
I am sorry to hear that.
So I don't know, I'd have to contact the attorneys and find out, but I mean, attorneys were involved in it, I know they were. So I don't understand why it wasn't done,
Yeah,
why it didn't happen. I mean, it's been on there since 1954.
Yeah,
and,
Mrs. Rounds,
people-
one of the problems is that historically, a lot of subdivisions were recorded with these types of parcels or pieces of property, and they've become what's called, quote, paper streets. They exist on paper, but not in reality. Unfortunately, the state really doesn't have a specific process on how to resolve those. So oftentimes, from the township's perspective, we wait until someone approaches us and says, hey, there's this parcel, there's an issue, how can you help us to try to resolve it? And the resolution that was passed today is kind of the process we came up with to say, this property isn't ours, never was ours, and we have no interest in it. That allows then the people who are adjacent to that to ultimately go to the court to file a quiet title action as a means of trying to resolve, okay, whose property is this? And you're not alone. I mean, there are a number of these throughout the township. We do many of these a year in an effort to try to help people resolve that issue. But it's unfortunately, we just became aware of it not that long ago to, put together the resolution to move forward on it. But, there's not anything active we can do or that we're able to do. We really have to be reactive in those situations. So I'm sorry you're in the situation you're in. Unfortunately, the state law doesn't give us a clear path to try to resolve all those ahead of time.
Between the township and the lawyers, I still am at a loss as why, it has taken this long. I mean, the easement is, right on my deed about the easement on there. So the record is there, it's filed at the courthouse.
But it's nothing that we have to, it's not ours. We have nothing to do with it.
Okay.
It just gets recorded, and then if somebody wants to try to do something with it, they come to us and say, hey, we think there might be an issue here. We need to clear this up. Can you help us? That's our sole role in this. So we didn't own the easement. We didn't hold the easement. We
understand, yeah.
we had nothing associated with it, and probably didn't really appreciate it existed until someone came to us, and it hasn't been that long ago. So I'm sorry what you had to go through.
Yeah, well, I'm in a very bad situation right now, so. I don't know. I don't know how to resolve, I mean, I contacted a lawyer. I'll contact the lawyers and find out what's going on, because they just kept telling me that the closing was postponed.
Yeah,
over and
this
over
should
again.
help pave the way for that. At
Pardon
least,
me?
this should help pave the way for that, make it easier for them, so that all they have to do is submit this resolution to the court to at least indicate we don't have any control over it.
Right.
And we don't own it. What other people do with it is a separate issue that we don't
Okay.
control.
I was told that Mill Creek Township had to release the,
I'm not sure that's correct.
yeah.
But
That was my understanding,
Yeah.
I just, so, anyway.
Ma'am, did your attorney contact Mill Creek Township to have this released?
I would have to ask them, I went through
Because I think that's the only way we would have indication, right, to remove it? Is that right, Matt?
Well, I think we were reached out, I don't know if it was by you, Mrs. Rounds, to find out about it, and then we worked with the solicitor's office and, determined, as Mr. Shaw explained, that it
Okay.
really was never ours. We didn't have any rights to it, and then the action came today just to
Yeah.
help in whatever way we possibly could, just to kind of officially confirm that.
So until you called, we did not have any indication that that was the case? Yeah.
Right.
So, I guess I'm questioning, the attorney as well, would that not have been flagged by your attorney? Or by the real estate?
I mean, I think it came up during the process of
During the
probably
process,
preparing for
okay.
the closing, and, we did our
Okay.
best to try and do what we could.
I see, okay. All right,
I was told that Mill Creek Township was holding it up, so. That's what I was told.
But we didn't know about it, I see.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I could hardly hear her, so I don't know.
Maybe move them, yeah.
Closer? I don't want to be squawking at it, though. My name is Mary Ellen Majock, and I live at 5405 Appleman Road in Bell Valley. I've been a resident of Mill Creek Township for about half of my life. Please excuse me if I stutter and stumble, because speaking to a group of people is really not my forte. 2 weeks ago, I heard and read on the local news about the township plan to purchase and then demolish properties on West State Street. I became immediately alarmed. Since then, I have immersed myself in researching the procedural maneuvers of township officials in orchestrating this major redevelopment initiative. I agree that this area is in need of revitalization and renewal improvements. I have seen the 22 Embrace Mill Creek plan, and there's much that is to be applauded. Increased walkability, tree planting, and the language on page 8 regarding working with the owners to revitalize the area. However, I have concerns with the way this purchase plan transpired and the implications of this decision. The determination of these properties as blighted is seriously flawed. I've spoken with some very knowledgeable people, and all are in agreement that these buildings do not meet the criteria to be designated as blighted. From what I've researched, and in the township's YouTube video interview with Christy Mahaney from the Land Bank, blighted properties must be 1, vacant, abandoned, 3, deteriorated, 4, tax delinquent. These buildings are not abandoned or deteriorated beyond repair. Has the township given consideration to adaptive reuse or some other environmentally sustainable option? The purchase demolition plan has misplaced priorities. We have township residents who have pleaded for township assistance to stop the repeated flooding of their streets and homes from improper stormwater management. It is a contradiction of supervisor's position that the township can spend public money on this redevelopment gamble, in effect, going into the economic development business by way of this new general authority, overpaying significantly for those 8th Street properties, but cannot assist these tax-paying homeowners to address a problem caused by a lack of foresight on the part of the township that's simply unjust. Can you not appreciate how some residents would see this as inconsistent with socially equitable community development, compounded by the fact that the township would demolish some of the only low-income housing in this part of the township, displacing residents of lesser means? Some township residents have expressed frustration in getting timely information about matters of public concern. I searched the township website and then the YouTube videos. I discovered that in October, you drafted this general authority resolution. You gave the authority the power to condemn. This resolution also stated that the authority could assist with stormwater. There are no minutes published of any of the general authority meetings. I did, however, find the county land bank's December 14th meeting minutes recorded that these property purchases are already under agreement and that you're seeking $1 million to help with demolition costs. There are no minutes of the supervisors' meetings after January 3rd, but there are YouTube videos of the supervisor meetings. One of those meetings I find troublesome. On January 24th, you all knew what the township was about to do with a special fund rainy day money. A man from West 11th Street came and spoke passionately, as he apparently had done before. He was told that to address the flooding issues experienced by him and his 3 neighbors, it would mean significant costs to the township. I believe they said the significant cost of $50,000 per the 4 households, $200,000. The supervisor went on to say something to the effect of, if we did this for 1 resident, what would we do for 55,000 other residents? No, 55,000 residents are not experiencing this disastrous stormwater situation. Finally, there's a matter of environmental sustainability. Notwithstanding the plans for increased walkability, bikeways, tree planting in the Gateway District Plan, the greenest building is the one that is already built, with all of its embodied energy and material that once demolished would head to landfills. Has the township fully anticipated those demolition costs and where all that waste will be dumped? 5 buildings, a pool, and some large parking lots. Many cities around the country are taking a fresh, imaginative look at their 1950s to 1970 era commercial buildings and finding new life, adaptive reuses for them. In sum, this purchase and planned demolition seems ill-conceived, financially, ethically, and environmentally unsound, and hurriedly orchestrated without adequate public input. I urge the township to slow down the process for a massive project of public interest. My requests to the township are: hold additional public hearings so that taxpaying citizens may be heard with respect to this special capital improvement rainy day fund and the plans for spending it. Use your your township social media sites to provide future notices to the taxpayers of upcoming meetings. You all know that the newspaper notice is grossly inadequate for notifying the taxpayers of township meetings and agenda. This is number 3. Be timelier and more transparent with the taxpayers and publish the minutes of all these authority meetings held since early November. Again, I found a lot of the information on the Land Bank's website. Seriously, number 5, seriously consider using the money from the Capital Improvement Rainy Day Fund to remediate stormwater situation, hire more firefighters, more police, buy more ambulances and emergency vehicles. The county land bank money could be better used for true blight in other municipalities in Erie County. Thank you. Want this?
Thank you. Okay, anyone else which wish to speak?
This is real fast. Gerald Svidio, 1720 West Gore Road. Hey, that lady did a really good job. I didn't even, where'd she go? Great job. She had a lot of good points there. This was done very quietly. Although I haven't attended meetings, I know you got a tough job, and I thank you for anybody who runs for office and has to put up with people that come up here and complain to you. I'm sorry, but you put yourself out there. And I agree with her as far as the money. The money part of it is my concern. The southeast corner, I know Sandbar and the hotel, motel, whatever you want to call it, I know that's a trouble spot. I don't quite know if she knows that. I think this could be better explained. Are you going to have public meetings? You know, as Kim Clear said, they may be upcoming. I don't know, but you know, nobody's excused from this. Even though Mr. Bach voted no, he doesn't get excused because to me it was all done very quietly, and I'd like to know what the return is, really, and perhaps further openness about this is because if I look at this correctly or incorrectly, however you want to put it, I look at Project Resolve, and there's not really, to me, a return there, job-wise. Money-wise, job-wise, the county's being very loose with what I consider taxpayer money. And I'm not saying you guys are, but I believe the value of that property, I mean, if everything is true in the paper, the Baldwin brothers, I'd have liked to have been in on that property just for a little bit. So I appreciate your time, and I hope you have, like she says, and I would request more information out there. The paper is poor, the paper doesn't get delivered, it's very small. The communication with it is bad, even if you go on, you know, you can go online, but tough job. I'm sorry, I heard from all you guys, and I appreciate you talking to me about it. So if you can talk to me, I think you could come out and talk with everybody. Let's not make this a cat issue. I've already been through that once, okay? So thank you.
Bring that
Thank you for your time. That's it, I'm done.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
No, thank her.
Yeah.
Any other citizens wish to be heard on this matter or anything else? Any comments from the, oh, okay.
My name is Dennis McAndrew, Elkhorn Township citizen. I attend a lot of these meetings, and I've actually been at the general meeting, authority meetings, and I kiddingly have said, when I've literally been the only citizen there, that, you know, it's going to appear to look like you guys are in the back room smoking pipe, having brandy, and doing something nefarious. And I said this was going to happen, and it has. I also had an issue with a lot of the money being diverted to the authority, and I also do agree, though, it's good to dream big. Dreaming's cheap. Paying for it's another thing. And I even said then, perception was going to look bad. You just raised the sewer rate, your garbage rate. You added another fee for the fire department on top of the EMTA tax. I saw this coming a mile away. I think you guys handled the perception and reality are two different things. It's being perceived as being done wrong. I attended a lot of these meetings, and it was public knowledge. I'm sorry that this has happened. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. Any other citizens to be heard? Any further comments? I'd like to say a few things based on the comments of, oh, we have another, sir? Oh, okay. Come on. Well, I know you're right, that's part of it, but part of it is the acoustics in our setup here, but yet, try to get the microphone closer.
I think it's the, can you hear me back there?
Maybe if you lean in a little bit.
Yeah, I think between the acoustics and the volume that you have, I think that's the part of it. Well, good morning. Okay, thank you. Lou Aliota. My address is on file many times through the district and other public entities in Erie County. Let me begin. I would like to congratulate the lady from Mill Creek in her presentation. Excellent presentation. And again, it is up to the citizens, the Americans, to make sure that the oath of office is honored by the public officials. Let me comment on a couple of issues. Mr. Chairman, Solicitor Shaw, I direct your attention to the Sunshine Law. When you introduce a topic such as the executive session, you are supposed to identify the topics that you discussed, and if necessary, you bring them up at a public meeting. You are aware, I think everyone is aware, that I've been fighting the Mill Creek School District and the school board for 6 years. And President Winchell is in the audience. And guess what? For 6 years, the solicitor and the past board president and the present board president and all the board directors said, when I asked the question, is this legal what you are doing? And guess what? The solicitor, Tim Sennett, of the Knox Law Firm, stated, we can't discuss that. It is attorney-client privilege. Well, I think everyone knows here that there was a counterclaim against me for defamation. For instance, I would ask a question. Is there tampering with public records? I asked a question. It was turned around, and guess what? They accused me of accusing them of tampering with public records. Well, after 6 years, I think everyone here has been aware that with the Honorable Constitutionalist Judge Daniel Brabender, threw it out, and I won. I won on our First Amendment to the Constitution, freedom of speech. And I compliment the lady prior to my presentation. So please follow the Sunshine Law, lady and gentlemen. There are other individuals in this room right now that is aware of a possible circumventing the laws. When and why was the authority, the Mill Creek Township Authority, is that the term that you are using?
General Authority. Mill Creek Township General Authority.
Okay, right. But it's an authority. And I'll ask you again, or I'll ask you initially, are all the legal issues resolved to conform with both the federal, state, and local laws? You don't have to answer it, but sometime maybe in the near future you may have to answer it. The authority was established in October of last year. And now all of a sudden, the authority was granted today $1.5 million. Whose money is that? Taxpayer money. Well, as in the case of another public entity, the Mill Creek School District and Board, They spent probably close to, or maybe more than, $200,000 to sue me on that counterclaim. Now, how much money is the authority going to spend in the next couple of years? By the way, just to inform you that for the past 2 years, I've been going and attending the meetings of the Erie Regional Airport Authority. And after questioning the board directors, the FAA is now pursuing an investigation of that authority. What I'd like to ask the supervisors, please be honest, responsible, accountable, and transparent to your constituents. Because when we gather together as a group, there is power in numbers. You have taken an oath of office to support, uphold, and protect the United States Constitution and that of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I thank you for the opportunity to speak and comment this morning. As identified, documented for over 247 years, freedom of speech. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else wish to speak? Yeah, well, based on the, speakers here and the contacts I've been having, I would like to make a motion to have 2 public meetings to give the public further opportunity for their input on West 8th Street. I think that's something that they deserve and that we should do for them. I'd like to know if I have a second on that.
Yes, I will have a second. I think that's a part of the process that we establish anyway, Chairman. This is just the first, the beginning in the long process that we have ahead of us. Public input is going to be necessary
I agree.
to get to where we are going to be going. So
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I
very
think
good.
that's a great idea, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, yes. That would be my goal, I would say within the next month
Yeah.
to have those public meetings. Yes, sir, question?
Yes, Chairman. This clear, you just introduced a motion, correct?
I made a motion.
Yes.
You made the motion. Seconded?
I seconded.
Okay. Now it is discussion, correct?
Yes, sir, that's what we're doing now.
Yes, our discussion.
Okay. According to Robert's Rules of Order, right, you have to open it up to the public for comment.
No. I don't think that's the, no. There were citizens to be heard, I think.
If the public
Oh, it wasn't added to the agenda.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Sure. We can-
That's it.
Can we make comments?
Wasn't on the agenda.
We can take public comment on that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think what let me just clarify here. So this was a motion or an action that was not on the agenda to begin with. So under the new rules, we can discuss it, but the supervisors can't vote on it until the next meeting, unfortunately. Because they can't take an action that wasn't on the agenda, is the problem.
You introduced a new topic.
Correct, and that's fine if they want to have, they can either take public comment now or take public comments when it's on the next agenda as part of that. So that's really up to them.
Okay, according to Robert's Rules of Order, and according to the Sunshine Law, which follows the Robert's Rules of Order, are you opening it up to the public comment?
Yes, sir. We're doing that right now. And you're first up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Clarify, are you proposing to have future public hearings that will be posted and announced?
Yes.
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 Again, let me state. What you have proposed, Mr. Bach, is that you're opening up for public comment to maybe 3 public hearings? 2 public hearings, okay. Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Now, you're going to be hearing the public and their voice in Mill Creek Township. You have already decided, you have already established the Mill Creek Township Authority. Can you disband it? Right? You already today, you already approved $1.5 million. Have a good day, Board President Winchell. So what you have done is you've established an authority. You have now funded that authority. And after the fact, you are opening it up for public comment.
It was open.
Is that legal? Is that legal? And what will happen after the public comment? I think you've heard me with the Mill Creek Township School District and the school board and the attorneys. My attorney, my personal attorney, wrote the book in the Right to Know law. That's Chadwick Schnee, and he's in Annville, Pennsylvania. My other 3 attorneys, one, the U.S. constitutional First Amendment of freedom of speech. Now, $300,000 for me, $200,000 from the school district, which are the taxpayer money. And another $250,000 from my insurance company. Add it up. Follow the money, connect the dots. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else wish to comment on the public hearings yet to be held that was not on the agenda, so we can't vote on it? Hearing, okay. Mary Ellen, no, you don't have to sign in again.
I'm just going to repeat what I said, and I gave the secretary a copy of what I asked. I also did Sunshine Act research. This is from Sunshine Act agenda requirements as of July 2021. All agencies must post an agenda of issues to be deliberated, and I guess you do that 24 hours. I watched for it yesterday. It came out 24 hours before this meeting. But they also say, and then this is in a PowerPoint presentation, it's probably not in the act, but I think it's really good advice, especially because the township has been promoting that they now have social media. What do we all go to first? The newspaper? I wish we did. I wish we had 3 newspapers in Erie. I wish we had hundreds of reporters, but we don't. You can also post the notice of meetings and the agenda on your website, agency offices, meeting sites, including other social media platforms, i.e. Facebook. And this is straight from your Pennsylvania Office of Open Records. So I guess I'm following up to what he said. The newspaper is not enough. I wish it was. Thanks.
I have a follow-up question to Cheryl. She had mentioned earlier that the minutes were not posted. And were you, Mary Ellen, were you referring to the general authority minutes?
They were just approved at this meeting today. Since like November? Oh, the other ones are online, yes. I will look at
Maybe you can help her find out where those earlier minutes are before. We have not. Okay, so those were not available. They should be. Okay. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. Yes. Come on up to the podium, please.
I can sign in later. I'm
Yeah.
Nancy Shea. I live on Holiday Drive.
Holiday Drive, okay.
I said I'm Nancy Shea, and I live on Holiday Drive. I had heard on social media that there was a meeting of that authority today at 3 o'clock.
That's correct, right here in this room.
Okay. Was that posted in general? Like, okay.
Yes.
According to the rules?
Yes.
So 3 o'clock today.
I believe they've been posted for the entire year. Yes. They're once a month, right here in this building.
I'm just wondering why now, after it's all said and done, after the purchase has been made and all the plans and the account has been funded, why you would have a public hearing now? I mean, is it just going to go like the CAT session, kind of just like a gripe session for people?
Time will
I mean,
tell, I guess.
What's the end game?
I guess in my mind, there's always hope.
Okay.
I believe, at this point, we've only just begun the process. I mean, there's a long game here, and we've only just begun the process. I mean, we've got this far to go, and we've gone maybe a quarter of an inch, maybe, not even. So we have a lot to look forward to, and we are going to be looking for engagement opportunities with all of our residents so that they can be a part in the planning going forward.
Like, whose idea was this in the first place? Like, how did that board get formed? And, who decided on purchasing these properties?
You're referring to the idea of the authority forming?
Of the authority, right, because now we're hearing about this after the fact, after it's all been said and done, the real estate closings have happened, correct?
I don't believe any closings have actually
They
occurred.
haven't? You're not the owner of those properties? This is all just speculative?
I'll let Mr. Shaw answer those questions.
The sales agreement have been entered into. The closings will be coming up over a period of time.
So if for some reason you back out of these, is there a default that you will get charged? You will have to pay penalties for
Correct.
backing out of the contracts?
Correct.
So either way, it's going to be taxpayer dollars at play. So who came up with this idea, though? It just magically did not form, this group of the authority. How did that all come to pass? Since we're being transparent here.
If I could answer, this has actually been in the works for probably 8 years since and again, I can't take credit for Embrace Mill Creek and all the work that's been done. That would be my predecessor and Matthew Waldinger here, the Director of Planning. But there is a comprehensive plan for the future, and one of the 4 areas to be looked at was West 8th Street and the revitalization of that area.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with it in conjunction with the city of Erie, who's put a lot of money into their side of 8th Street. But was there ever any mention that Mill Creek would be in the real estate business? I mean, it sounds like you made winners and losers in the people that you purchased the properties from, And some of those people, like, say, the Baldwins, would be wealthy to begin with. I mean, why would you pay over and above an appraised price?
You know, I believe that with commercial real estate, you know, we did our homework, and we have been really excited with the progress that we've made so far. And I think that Mill Creek residents have a lot to be proud of, and will continue to be proud of things that are yet to come.
Well, in all respect, though, that's not giving details to the public. You know, details to the public on how, you know, who came up with these figures, who came up with the bids, who came up with, you know, who decided on what prices to pay, what prices to offer. And this is after the fact. I realize there's a long-range plan, but the long-range plan didn't really involve you guys purchasing properties. Did it? Was that in there? Was that in that they would be real estate holders?
I think there are various ways that revitalization could take place.
So was that specifically in there?
I don't really know the comprehensive plans specifically explain how.
Okay, so in the spirit of transparency, maybe you guys could put that together. Put a timeline and who decided what, you know, for those meetings, just so we're not going and having just a gripe session. We can look at specific things. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Any other citizens wish to be heard today? If not, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would just like to say that I also have heard from many residents, been stopped in stores. I can't even seem to get my own medications at the pharmacy, for goodness sake, with the excitement of that's what's happening here in Mill Creek Township. I'm so unbelievably proud to be a part of this, and to see the future of Mill Creek and what's to come. Thank you. And I'll motion to adjourn.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. We are adjourned at 10:56.